celebrating. Woohoo! Thank you for being here. This is Women Speakers Association's WSA TV Special Edition. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer of Women Speakers Association's WSA TV. And what are we doing today that's so special? We're celebrating the wins of 2017, the lessons learned, and how Women Speakers Association has supported our sisters here. And I've got so many of them. Let me stop sharing my screen and let you see everybody. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yay. So what I wanted to do first and foremost, is let Gail Watson, our illustrious leader of Women Speakers Association at the helm, say hello and just kick us off with some lessons we've got, well, more than lessons, wins we've got going for the new year.
Awesome. Thanks. And I love this. I love the excitement. And what a gorgeous bunch here. I wish we could all actually be live together and party. So this is fun. Just like everybody as an entrepreneur, one of the big lessons for me personally this year was how to slow down to truly speed up. And it really meant calming my mind, because it's a type of mind that we get, what's that shiny object syndrome that you get. So I'm big on that, but it was about focus. So I really learned about focus and slowing down. And as a result, we've had so many great wins. And those wins include the launch of a recently launched Speaker Success podcast, some new benefits for members. WSA Publishing is coming on strong for January, so we're really, really excited. And the other thing was just to really simplify experience for you, making it much easier to navigate your way around and to find things, and to really focus in on that your membership is working 24/7 for you. And one of the big, how WSA has helped me, well, really, is meeting you. We celebrate 207 new Premier members as of today that have come in this year. And my biggest win is just getting to know each and every one of you and learning who you are, because you're amazing. So that's why I love WSA.
I love it. And I'm putting all of us back on. Let's give like a woohoo and a round of applause for all that. Awesome. Woo!
7 new Premier members as of today.
I love that we've been able to do this and share the wins, and we really are here for you. By the way, if you're not yet a Women Speakers Association member, right here, joinwsa.com. We've got a free level of membership for you. Every woman here today, by the way, is a Premier member. We are helping them grow their visibility by leaps and bounds, not only by doing fun celebrations like this, but we do WSA TV. We have the podcast, which is so rocking. If you haven't checked it out, Speaker Success Podcast is the place to be on iTunes. And we have that domain name, right? speakersuccesspodcast.com. Just go there. All right. Deb, I think you want to say a few things about who's on Facebook.
Yes, I see some people tuning in both of our Facebook groups, our Premier Only group and our other group for Premier members and associates. And people are tuning in on our page. So if you'd like us to be sure to see your comments and be able to give you a shout out, follow the link over to our page, and then we'll be sure to see you when you drop some comments there. Thanks so much for the shares and for joining us to celebrate our big wins for 2017.
And if you've got a win you want to share, go ahead and pop it in there.
Okay.
We'll shout out about it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so speaking of wins, I want to hear who's here on our call, and I want to hear, let's go to Sonja. Hey, Sonja.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. Tell us what has gone on in 2017 that you're super excited about. What did you learn, and how has Women Speakers Association been a part of it?
Sure. Well, first I'm going to start off with that it wasn't a very good year to start off with, and I'm ending it on a really good note. So I've learned a lot through the process. First, I got laid off in corporate America, which was horrible. And then I had a injury. I ended up falling on the sidewalk and broke my elbow and tore ligaments from my wrist. And so, so it was a long haul back in the sense of getting healthy, and in addition to being jobless. And so I started thinking, what is this year about for me? And it ended up being about love. not only unconditional love, because I got engaged as well, and then I got married 3 months ago. So that's a huge win. But not only him being there for me and supporting me throughout the process, but really getting to learn and know a lot about myself, which helped me realize I really got to love what I do. And so I got really excited because I got looped into WSA. I've been a member for a really long time. But Gail ended up contacting me, and we ended up talking. And I had started a company last year a little bit on the side, and decided not to go full force with it. So I'm very excited. It's called Nonstop for the Top. And recently, a really huge win for me is I got contacted to be on a television show, which is going to have 25 million viewers in February, to talk about my business. And I don't think I would have gotten that if it wasn't for WSA. So I'm really excited. I'm very hopeful for the new year. And I just recently did a national commercial too. So my moral of my story is that for me personally, what I learned was that love is so important, and you have to appreciate every day the people in your life. And your plan doesn't always go as expected, because like I had all these other goals and they all got scrapped, and I ended up in a good place. So being able to reassess goals and learning that, love goes around, not only in your work life, but also in your personal life. And I'm very excited to be on this track now.
Woohoo! Everybody's cheering you on.
You were allowed to cry?
You're gonna cry. I don't want to make people cry, but it's just that I want to be inspirational to women in the sense that they can have the opportunities that they deserve, especially with the whole Me Too movement that just came out, that they can have the opportunities they deserve, the pay that they deserve, and the benefits that they deserve. And you do not need to be treated any less than that. So I feel like you need to go for what you want and go for your dreams and have the support to do that and know that you can do that. So I've learned that through this year, which is very exciting.
Go for it, and we'll be here for you to celebrate throughout the years. Woohoo! Thank you.
WSA is so great. Like, they're so supportive of you and your career. So I definitely suggest joining WSA.
Great. We are definitely here for you. All right. So let's also go to Karolyn and hear about your wins in 2017 and your lessons and how we've been here for you.
Wow. I totally agree with you, Gail. Slowing things down definitely is one of the secrets. I'm one of these people that has shiny object syndrome, so keeping my focus is really important. WSA has helped me a lot with just teaching me about the speaking world. Teaching me about the skills that you need. I love the webinars that you do on a monthly basis. You learn so much on them. And I also love all the tools and everything that are provided with the membership. So my major win was I published my book. So I signed my contract with an editor, Food Freedom, How to Begin Your Path of Self-Mastery and Reverse Diabetes, the New Rules of Living in Today's World. And so I'm a lifestyle modification coach. And I would have to say that I was truly excited to do that. However, what happened is that my level of risk as an entrepreneur that I'm willing to accept is considerably higher than most people. And so when I brought the news home to my husband, he freaked because obviously the bill came along with that and reality set in, and oh my God, we have this bill to pay and it's huge. So one thing that lesson that it's actually taught me is to let go of the steering wheel. Let go and just have faith in the universe. And truly, that's the best way to go, because the way that I was doing it before was I was obsessed on the results, living in the future, not being present, scrambling, being very impulsive, running after goals. And I felt now it's like, with letting go and relaxing and accepting, all the goodness comes along, and now I have no stress about paying this bill, and I know that it was the right choice. So that's my major win.
Bravo. In fact, we are applauding you big time. Yay.
Thank you.
So exciting to hear all your wins, how we've been here for you, how you've had to overcome things that every one of us kind of feel on a on a weekly basis, daily basis. You know, we can all relate. So thanks, Karolyn. Congratulations. All right, let's go over to Marquesa Pettway.
Hey, y'all. Can you hear me okay?
Great.
Wonderful. Well, hello, WSA family.
Welcome, welcome. We are so super excited. Tell us, Marquesa, how has your year been? I know you've alluded to lots of change and lots of wins, and we want to hear it all. Wins and lessons and how Women's Speakers Association has been involved.
One of my biggest lessons was my new relationship with time. I learned that time can either be your master or your servant. Time is now my servant, okay? So for so long, I was reactive, trying to do this, do that. And, you know, like another one of my great WSA sisters said earlier, I wasn't always in the moment. I wanted to do everything, or I felt like I was missing out. This year has completely changed, which means I have time for other parts of my life. I'm healthier than I've ever been, lost like almost 100 pounds. Okay. So I'm loving clothes. If you're on my Instagram, that's my excuse. And, you know, I even, you know, something that I had asked God for years. I said, I just want a partner to explore this life with, but I'm not going to settle for anybody. I want the right person. And, you know, that happened. I met him. He's fabulous. His name is Mark, which is interesting because my name was Marquesa. And we met at church, you know, which was awesome, and a wonderful supportive community. And I'm crazy about this man. And we're like 5 months in. And that would not have happened if my relationship with time did not change. I truly feel like 2017 was my best year yet. But guys, I have to share what WSA has meant to me. Not only do I have some of the best relationships, friendships, Gail, Deb, you know, Melanie, Laura, the list goes on. So you guys taught me a lot about friendship, because being a busy business girl, I just didn't have time for friends. I mean, I would talk. I mean, I'm a networker, everyone will tell you, but sitting down and having real organic, deep relationships was a whole nother thing. So just the sisterhood of it all has been invaluable. And I love that Gail saw me in the community. I was one of the original members and said, hey, I'd love for you to host our Periscope. And then that changed, that evolved into the other platform that's gone now that I can't think of the name of it right now. So I was really one of the first digital hosts for WSA, and that visibility, that opportunity, that spotlight certainly grew my business, grew my relational capital inside and outside of WSA, and most importantly, just grew my organic relationship. So I love WSA. I love what it stands for, the mission, the connection of sisterhood, and how it's all about sharing your message out there in the world and changing it. Because I'm the founder and the creator of the word speakerpreneur, and my whole platform is about sharing your message with the world. So WSA, I love you. Congratulations. And we got to play that song again, because this is a true song.
We do. I got to share my screen to show it, but we're all dancing here, celebrating you.
Celebration.
Here's to love and mastering time, or making it your servant. I want to know your secret to that. If you in 2 words could say what your secret to mastering, having time be your servant is, we'd want to know.
Yeah. And I'll just say this, because, and I have to give credit to Michael Hyatt for the quote. He asked that question. You know how a lot of us, anybody else on here, is a time management addict? You've done every time management course. You have every time management calendar and course. I'm sure it's not just me. And then he asked this important question. He says, is time your servant or your master? And I said, huh? In other words, are you up here trying to say, oh, I got to do this or that? So it's about looking at your day and saying, what's most important to me? Where's my secret sauce? What is it that I suck at that I need to get somebody else to do, or I need to do it at my highest level of energy. So it's just another way of looking at time.
Awesome.
And realizing it, you can only change it in your head. You can't change it with a planner. I'm just saying. So that
Awesome. It's a mindset. Lovely.
There you go.
Thank you. Cheering you on, everybody. Cheer Marquesa. Woo! Sister with the most here. Mostest, hostess. I don't
Thank
know.
you.
I need a rhyme, but I'll think of it in time. All right. Moving on to more wins and wonderfulness from Michelle Van. Tell us what's gone on in 2017 for you. What are you celebrating? What are you learning? And how have we been a part of that here at Women's Speakers Association?
Hello, my name is Michelle Van. I'm in Wichita, Kansas. What I would say my biggest win at the beginning of the year, I was able to go and do some professional development at Starwood for their managers, and that was big. And for a while, I was thinking, oh my God, this is so different. And then I realized it was exactly what I did when I was teaching. I was doing professional development. It was just for a different reason, and that took away all of the ambiguity that was there. And I was a little nervous about it because it was a different arena, but I realized it was really the same thing that I had been doing. The other thing is that probably the last time I was here, I was running for Senate, and that was just the most bizarre experience I've ever had. But it was a win in the fact that I didn't win, but it was a win in the fact that I was able to meet some of the most fantabulous people that I could have ever met. And because of that, last week I was offered a spot to do a business segment on our community radio station. And so that was just a great win. And on top of that, they asked that, who's going to be your co-host? And I couldn't really think of anybody. And I was like, what about my husband? And they were like, well, great. That will be great. You guys already have chemistry. You guys can talk together and it'll be great. So it's been a great win for us. I would agree with Sonja. This 2017 has been one of those kind of crazy sort of years, but got into a whole thing with essentialism and understanding what was essential and what was non-essential. And so that's really, really helped me of being able to say, this is not really something that's going to help me win, and it's not going to bring progress to where I'm going. I'm going to mark that off. I'm going to replace that with something else. So being able to reframe and look at things has been phenomenal in helping me to get focused. WSA, I would say that, that it's been a really great thing. Someone said earlier already about the fact that there's great training. And so I've been able to get on there, get great training. I will tell you this too, that at part of it, you can have so many resources that sometimes you forget some of the resources that you have. And I kind of lost my way for a little while. And I said, let me get back. I'm paying every month to be on WSA. Let me get on there and start using some of those resources to get my stuff going. So I really had to really reuse and re-engage with some of the resources that I had. So I totally, totally love being able to be connected with ladies who have the same vision and the same mindset.
Yes, way to rock it out. So, Miss Michelle, woohoo! Like Sonja, like Marquesa, and we have so many more here for you. And thanks for jumping back in. We are here working for you 24/7, whether you're using us or not. But, we're here to get even more and take it to the next level when you're ready. So good on you, Michelle, for hopping back on the bandwagon here. And we've been promoting you whether you knew it or not. So you can count on us for that. All right. Now, our next up, let's hear from Ms. Lisa Danforth.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on here. I really appreciate it. I've been a member of WSA for quite a while, but just joined WSA Premier because of Deb in 2017. And I've got to say, it's been amazing. Starting out the year, I was definitely having a difficult time kind of booking all of the speaking gigs that I wanted to have and podcasts and whatnot. And my win, I've got to say, for 2017 is I finally decided to just go for it and apply for those larger gigs, apply for those things that I didn't think that I was actually capable of or at the level. I applied. I'm speaking alongside of the business gurus as a business strategist in Vermont, which has just been wonderful. And the lesson really has been that to let go I know we've talked about this, but let go of the struggle and really step into it and own it. And WSA has helped me with that so much, being able to have my e-speaker profile, being able to watch all of the people putting themselves out there and being able to emulate and see what it is that's working for them. So the win really is just being able to get out and speak. I was chosen to be a keynote speaker for the Vermont Association for Wedding Professionals, which was just such a blast. That was a huge win for me because I decided to step away from that struggle and just own it and own the expert and bring the experience to the table.
Nice.
So the community has been wonderful, I've got to say.
Woohoo! Way to step into bigger things. Everybody's stepping into bigger things for themselves. And that's, stretching ourselves and hearing these stories. I hope it's inspiring every one of you who is watching today to you can do it no matter what kind of a year you had. It's okay to stretch a little further. We'll be here for you like a little nest to support you. All right. Let us keep the momentum going because I know we have more stories to share. I want to hear from Cricket. How has 2017 been for you? What are your wins? What are your lessons? And how has WSA been a part of it?
Hey everyone, I'm Cricket. Thanks for asking and having me here. I just have to jump in real quick and say I was just listening to everyone and talking about this. I know I joined the first year you started and I became the premier the first time it was offered. So I don't know when that was, but it's been a while. So I'm glad to be here. It's kind of like a coming home, so to speak. I'm kind of going in reverse order, but I know the page is always there, right? So when I check out and I want to check back in, I know there's a group of people that's always there to support me. And what really came to my head was I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. We have a great NSA chapter. We have tons of different networking things. And I can go to a networking event totally non-speaker related where I run into somebody and it turns out we're both members of WSA. So it's this virtual community across the globe, and I've chatted with some lovely people, and that yet I'm meeting people in my backyard through this group. And it just gives us a common link right there. So that's been wonderful. My big win in my learning, and I want to gear this for people that are watching towards speakers specifically. Like I know we're all speakers, but I want to gear mine towards what I learned through speaking. Is I've spent the past 2 years leading and training speakers, about 150 to 180 a year for a company, and it's one thing to teach and I wanted to be doing more, right? This is what I was doing and I got caught in the teaching and I love the teaching, but I sponsored at a conference and I went out and did 4 breakout sessions and I kind of went against the grain. I did something different, right? My business has been about being outside the box and speaking out and standing out. And I talked about the things that I just want to give you my 3 learnings, which were number 1, just remember as a speaker, it's always about the audience. It's never about us. And that was one of the things that helped me so much when I made sure that everything I did was about the benefits. Like if you're hosting an event in your home, it's about the attendees, right? It's about your guests, treat your audience like guests. And the other thing that I wanted to share was a huge win for me, because I think it's something sometimes we all struggle with is like pick one topic, right? We're afraid of kind of getting honed in and locked in. And at the same time, association planners and event planners don't know how to hire you if you're speaking on 5 different things because they think you're not an expert or a master at really anything. And so that was a real eye opener. Really, stand your ground, hold your place, and get really known for one thing. And then people are like, "Oh, she speaks on this. I know exactly where I can use her." And that one conference and doing that and making sure that while I was passionate about what I did, I didn't talk about my passion. I talked about the other people's passion, or I showed them my passion versus talking about it. Those 3 things and doing that conference has led to bookings for me through September of next year. So it was a big win on a couple of places. It was, going out, doing things, and then what kind of doing those things, somebody said risk taking, right? Some of those things were a little bit like, oh, I don't want to cut myself short. I don't want to lock myself in. And yet that ability to be known as a master in your field versus an expert at a lot of things has really helped skyrocket things. So hope those tips help some of you out there.
Thank you so much for that wisdom and your vulnerability and sharing your stories. All of you really are like So inspiring. And if you're out there on Facebook and you're wondering and you're getting inspired, give us some love, let us know, share your story as well, where we want to celebrate you too. This is to inspire you to engage more with us as well. And we still have more stories to share. So we've got Ashley Martin patiently waiting here. Ashley, welcome to the show. And we're going to celebrate your wins and lessons and anything you want to say about how Women's Speakers Association has supported you this year.
Absolutely. Hi, ladies, and any gentlemen that may be watching. Thank you all for having me here. I have been a part of the Premier community for this year, and I have been delighted to be here. Some of my wins this year came unexpectedly. You never know who's watching you, so always be on your P's and Q's. I was invited to a panel, and I received an award called Houston's Best Kept Secret Award. Phenomenal organization that brings together women that network. So really just always be on your P's and Q's because you never know who's watching you. Another win, I finished my second book called Refocus, Starting Over from the Inside Out. At the beginning of this year, I was in a career transition. I had been in education, resigned, and entered the world of entrepreneurship. And you all know how it is. And so restarting is this big thing, but I hadn't really seen a lot of work on the inside work that requires to be a part of a start over in your life. And so I put together what helped me. So perhaps it'll help others. Another win, clarity. That probably was the biggest win for me. Clarity in knowing what kind of speaker I am. I believe I'm more of a content speaker because the teacher in me will not die. Who motivates people and inspires them, but really having a lot of clarity around what type of speaker I am. Biggest mistakes and lessons, perhaps mistakes, learn from them. They're okay to make. You may get bumps, you may get bruises, but that's the beauty of it, right? Learning this whole journey, that's the beauty of it. And then also another lesson, the power of just showing up. You won't know what happened if you don't show up. And so show up. You might meet somebody. Every time I've shown up, I've met incredible people. It's led to more great opportunities. And I can honestly say, had I not been a part of this community, having attended some of the webinars and following you guys on Instagram, I'm a big Instagram girl, and seeing some of those tips and interacting and of course, the portal that has all of these wonderful ebooks and resources, I would not have been positioned to be able to walk through some of the doors that I've been able to. So thank you.
Woohoo! Congratulations, Ashley. We're all cheering you on. Yay! It's great. So speaking of showing up, like you said, Ashley, one more thing Marquesa has done, has gotten a multi-high five-figure multi-gig with one really major corporation. You want to say anything about that?
Well, I'm not going to name the corporation. Let's just say it's on the bucket list. It's with the big dogs, and I'm doing a few keynotes, internal conferences. It's really the dream gig, I must say. And it really came from someone hearing me at a conference 4 years previous. They call me up, we want you here. I was able to get on this phone and negotiate, and it's going to go out to a good year or two, and that's just the beginning. So just guys, never limit yourself. That's probably the biggest lesson here. Don't limit yourself. And sometimes things take a long time. I waited 7 years to meet a wonderful man, okay? Some things take a long time, but when it happens, it's magical. So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, it really is. And I hope everybody's hearing this, that, you know, we're here because and sharing our wins because we know you have wins, because we want to, it's time to celebrate. You know, Americans have this really good work ethic, and especially women. It's okay to celebrate it, to let go of the past, set your intentions for next year. Reach out to your sisters here to help you rise up. You know, one person's success is everybody's success. So, you know, it's really great. And I want to hear, I know, Deb, you've been monitoring the Facebook chat, and but I want to hear your wins too. Tell us about your wins.
Thanks, Laura. Hi, everybody. I'm Deb Coleman. I'm part of the leadership team here at Women's Speakers Association. I am in the Facebook group all the time and on our Facebook page, and not a whole lot happening there right now. Maybe people are doing some last minute shopping. I don't know. But I know they'll be
shocking.
back because they were excited to hear about us celebrating all of our Premier members here. So anyone watching later on, please still share our recording. Please still drop your own wins and lessons in the comments, and we'll be happy to come back and celebrate them with you too. For me, Women's Speakers Association is always part of my wins and my lessons, because it really gives me the support and the tools, like the things people have said already, the trainings to do, to step up and step in even more all the time. And that's what it was like for me in 2017. I had a lot of firsts, my first paid speaking gig, my first time doing a training on my platform. I had done them for a lot of other people, but for me to host. And the win for me around that was to trust my own instincts. In addition to marketing strategy, it's not always all of that. It's sometimes what you think. And I tried to create from a place of service. I created an online training. It got well received. I went with my own gut, like I'm going to turn it into my opt-in. Why am I doing all these other opt-ins? And I'm just kind of walking the path based on like listening to my own inner guidance and to what people want and need. And to me, that's what WSA is about. That's how all of our changes and development and growth comes, from listening to our members. That's where the private Facebook group for Premier members came out of, where our latest podcast that we're celebrating, our speaker success plan that we created. It's all because we're hearing from members, we need X, or we would like more of this to help us with our businesses and our speaking. So I get to practice it. The other thing I did was listening to a lot of what Melanie has shared, Melanie Benson on our executive team, and it came in one of our speaker success trainings that she did for us about really spending time and going deeper on the things that are working, which is what I did with this little online course. Like, instead of going off in another direction, it's like, this is getting traction. I'm going to go deeper on this. And like many of the women here today have shared, that whole idea of focus and really honing in and listening and stepping up at the same time. So I love it. And I couldn't do it without the Women's Speakers Association community. People celebrate all the time. I'm so glad we're doing it here at the end of the year, but really it happens all the time in our Facebook groups, where people are getting to drop the same kind of messages people are sharing here today, and find a community of people cheering you on wherever you're at in your journey. It doesn't matter how big or small it appears, a win is a win. So I'm really happy to be here with all of you here today.
You make such a great point, Deb, that we're cheering you on 24/7, 365. It's, a holistic time, place that we're here, not just the end of the year. We'll also be celebrating in the beginning of the year as well, publicly. But I would share just a win of my own this year, and it really is tied to Women's Speakers Association. I, as some of you know, am founder of the Social Buzz Club, which is an online platform that helps people generate more visibility by influencers sharing each other's content for each other. And we've had some major crisis with the platform. We've been migrating the platform, and we're 99% there. So it's very exciting. And I will say that Women's Speakers Association calls me to play my best game, because I know I want to come back and I want to share the win, and I want to, and they're there for me if I don't get the win. So it's not like I have to be perfect, but if I'm not, I've got resources. Number one, you got my back, ladies. Thank you so much, first of all. Second of all, you call me to play a bigger game, because I really want to bring my best to you, to every one of you, to every woman I've interviewed on Women's Speakers Association, to every Premier member, and to the leadership team that I adore and is my nest. So thank you from my bottom of my heart for celebrating with me, for supporting me, and for supporting other women here on Women's Speakers Association. So big cheers to everyone, and let's all unmute and cheer and say, yay, we did it.
Way to go, everyone.
Congratulations.
And Gail, is there
better?
Yeah. Gail, is there anything you want to leave us with? Wisdom?
Oh, I am so moved by everybody sharing today, and so proud of each and every one of you. You're beautiful on the inside and outside, and I thank you so much for being a part of this community. You make it who we are. So all these great things everybody's saying, it's because of how you contribute. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. And as you close out your 2017, I'm so grateful that we get to celebrate it, just all those great things, and can't wait to move into the new year with you ladies. Powerhouse.
Yay. Total powerhouses here, and we will see you in 2018. Have a fabulous holiday season, and feel free to share this the wins and the celebration. Inspire others in your lives, spread more positive energy, and we'll be back with you in the new year. Take care, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Bye, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.